Sup, Clive?
What's up, man? How are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, bro. And thank you so much for making the time to be here and to speak to me today because your journey is nothing but impressive. Everything that you've done, the number of instruments that you've learned to play, and how music has guided you is really inspirational.
I'm very glad that I'm here. I'm, in fact, honored that you've called me also. Likewise. So,
Tell me, how did you first get hooked to an instrument?
yeah, so I was little. I was like, I think around 5 years old or something. Since then, I remember as a kid, I was always inclined towards music. And I had a good cassette player at home, and my dad played great music since I was a kid. He also had these little tapes, and we would record on those. And all. So, music was always part of it. But I did not have instruments, but I remember my dad had bought me a harmonica when I was young. And also a straight flute, that you get in the mela. So I started with that, and then it didn't continue, but it was like on and off. But I also remember another time I came across a keyboard at someone else's place. And then I understood the whole keyboard, how the whole scale works. And, I started playing little songs like Happy Birthday, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But that's the foundation of understanding scales also, major scales, minor scales. And then I drew them. And that's how I would practice and at a later stage, I then bought a recorder. And I then also used to play in church and in the choir and stuff like that. So that's where it began as a kid.
Wow. So, wait, let me get this right. You said you literally wrote it down
Yeah. To brew the whole keyboard, the black and white keys. And
to
that's
practice that?
to practice them.
Oh, that's insane.
And just like mentally understanding. That's a black key.
Wow.
The white key. So yeah, that's pitch perfect also. That's something I believe, you know,
And how old were you when you did this?
I think I was around 8 or 9.
8, 9 years old.
Yeah, but I didn't have instruments. That's what I'm talking about. Main thing is that there was, I would say it's a God's gift, obviously. I mean, it's just, certain things, it's just, I was meant to do this. I was probably born to do this. That's all I would say. But I didn't know that that's what I'm going to do back then. But I just knew I liked music a lot. But I had, along the journey, I did a lot of other things. I did my usual regular schooling and college. Till then, I didn't really go and study music. I didn't formally study music anyway. I have not had a guruji, no teacher, nothing. But everyone is my guruji. I've learned from everywhere, from wherever I can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it goes both ways. If you're open to knowledge, knowledge will come find you.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I meant Guruji, I'm talking about not had one teacher or one person teaching me, like how everyone goes to a guitar teacher or a flute teacher, or not had that. That's what I meant. But everyone is my teacher along my journey, along this entire 20 years or whatever. I've learned from every person, every other producer or composer or a flutist or a sitar player, and it doesn't end at there's no restriction as to this genre and that genre. I listen to everything right from, I like Vilayat Khan Sahab, the great
Wow.
maestro, the sitar
Wow.
player. So there's inspiration right from there to Yanni to, Western composers, Indian, like Tyagaraja, Carnatic music, and also rock, pop, the whole thing, I mean, all different genres. So there's no restriction, there's no limitation. That's one thing I would say to everyone, to all the inspiring artists. Don't restrict yourself that I do this genre and I do that genre. That's restricting yourself. Let the genre something for people to decide. Let the music just flow out. And just experiment with everything and listen to everything. Listening is the key.
Absolutely, because you can find music in pretty much anything and everything that you listen to.
Absolutely.
So you can't possibly not want to listen to a genre.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Now, let me ask you, what was the first instrument that you actually mastered playing?
Flute.
The flute.
Mastered, I have not mastered anything yet. I've not mastered anything yet. Nothing. I'm not master of none. No, that's the instrument that I'm more inclined towards. I practice more. I mean, that's the instrument I think. This and the didgeridoo.
Wow.
And also, I do play the jaw harp. I do play percussions. I just recently got a drum kit. In fact, all my life I have been air drumming. I learned to drive a car also like that. It's just imagination. I have a very strong imagination. So just like the keyboard, I knew, I'm sure every kid has watched a bus driver being in India, and generally when you watch how they drive, and that's how you. And I would do that at home with little coconut shells and stuff, and drive the whole thing, the first gear, changing gears, and everything. And then when I actually sat on a car, it was not that difficult. It was different, of course. But then there is a certain kind of knowledge that you already. So that's what I did with music, though I didn't have. So my journey has been with music. At least I didn't get any support from home. As a matter of fact, it was laughed at. It's like do something serious. Music is not a thing about, a lot of people don't understand what it is. They take it as it's just a hobby. It's not a real thing. Go get a job, do something else. That kind. So I've never had any support. In fact, forget about support. It's been like bowed upon, and I've had a lot of difficulties on that note. So I've had a lot of those kind of struggles, and I also left my house at a very early age. I was 19, and uh, left my house because of the kind of. Obviously, I think that's where it was right from there. There's something like the right word over here is can't follow the norms. Yes. Yeah, can't follow the norms. The norms don't make sense. So I've always been a rebel that way. So I think every artist is a rebel. In fact, truly, what is art? When you go ahead and just do something without any expectation of what it should be and what's right and wrong, when you take the risk, when you jump into that well without knowing what's going to happen, and when whatever happens, that's true art. I'm not talking about danger things like literally like jumping in a well or when you can't swim, because in art nothing can go wrong. You just practice more.
Creativity.
It's creativity. Nothing can go wrong. Maximum, if you're painting something, it won't look good. It's okay. You will waste a lot. It won't sound good. You're not harming anyone.
I have a question now. If there was no art, what would you do?
I can't even that question. I can't even imagine because I can't imagine what it is without art because that's something I've never thought of. Great question, but I don't. I can't survive without it.
Absolutely. I think if it ever came to that, I would create art.
I think that's what we are doing here as human beings. I mean, that's what it is. Great. I can't even imagine a world without art. Like that question what you asked, it was clean bold. I mean, I never thought of what dimension is that like. So no idea.
It's you got to think about it at some point. Like, what if art is taken away from you? I
It
mean,
can't be taken. I won't live. I won't survive.
you art has always been a part of who we are as a person,
Absolutely.
how we carry ourselves, the kind of music, the kind of energies and aura that we all dwell within. Wow, what a journey it has been. Now, do you also teach people how to play the flute?
I have taught a lot of people because they've had interest. People to ask. I don't do any formal classes. I don't even have the time for it because my timings are all, because like I do a lot of gigs. I travel here and there. But also, only if there is a serious student and whenever anyone's asked me any questions, I teach. It's like a proper class. I've done a few sessions, but some people are not so serious. You know what I mean? They just want to. So it depends on that. But I have no, I'm not doing it formally. I have not planned to do that as of now.
But I'm sure you've taught a lot of close ones.
I do teach whoever else. I mean, there are a lot of people I've taught us. There's no formal training. I don't take money for it, but they have been playing and they're playing well.
So you are following their progress, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly.
I'm in touch with all of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's out of personal interest. It's got nothing to do with he's my student because there's no student-teacher relation in professionally if you're talking about money. It's just out of pure love. Like, you want to learn, come, I'll show you. Ask me and you shall receive. Because knowledge is not meant to be sold and kept. It's meant to be shared.
Absolutely. I think people don't get that. We live in a very, very selfish world.
Absolutely.
Everybody's trying to run a race.
And make a business out of if
Everything.
like
Everything.
Yeah.
So yes, I think music, what you do especially with music is just magical. I mean, the first time I remember when I met you at Vivan's Handpan Festival, I did not expect you to go up on stage because even you did not know that you were going up on stage.
Yeah. That's in fact one of those best parts of our life. I mean, when everything's unplanned.
Yeah, I mean,
Enjoy it. It's like on the fly jam.
watching people that do not know each other just blend into music so
That
beautifully.
connection is very special. Now you'll say we do not know each other, but at that point, I probably don't know his name. I still don't know his name, by the way. But what we understood of each other is from a different realm, from a different dimension. It's not earthly. What's your name? What do you do? Hi, I live here. Not that. We met each other on stage, and that bonding is beyond. Hi, I'm from here. I live here. I do this. Who. There's no,
Absolutely.
that's different. That there it was a different play. So we connected at a different level. In fact, every musician feels it and knows about it for sure, has experienced it. That when you jam with other musicians or when you're playing music, that connection is a different connection, my friend. at that level when you vibe and you kind of you give that eye to eye or you're playing the drum like that connection is very different.
I was watching
Yeah, you
it.
can't buy that. You can't. You have to experience it. It's very different.
Absolutely. My God, I was so surprised, so amazed, and so proud also of the fact that it went so smoothly. It was so beautiful, where the entire evening just lit up, and it carried that for the rest of the evening. I mean, you all set the stage. So why not go for something and let everybody hear what you can actually do with your flute?
Ah, sure. So this is a didgeridoo. Now didgeridoo, and this is a bansuri and this is a Western flute. Starting with didgeridoo, it's an Australian Aboriginal instrument, a very ancient instrument, and the Aboriginal people of Australia they make it and they usually play this. It's made from eucalyptus and it
Wow.
can be made from different materials. It's nothing but a hollow cylinder. That's what a didgeridoo is. In this case, this one is a travel didgeridoo. It's neatly shaped. This is from Australia again with some Aboriginal work. I'll just show you the sound of it. That's a
Wow.
didgeridoo. So you flutter your lips and you also circular breathe, and that's how you keep the drone going.
Wow.
I have many other didgeridoos at home, and they have some. They are huge and they've got a big bell, so it sounds nice and low and like not low drone like bass. This one's on a C.
That was really, really amazing, Clive.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
How long did it take you to learn how to do that?
I have a knack for instruments, so I picked it up in 2 weeks.
But I was asking you to play the flute.
Yes, I will also get to the flute. We started talking about the ditch and then I
Yeah.
was coming to the flute. Yeah, I picked it up in 2 weeks, but usually people find it a little difficult. It's the tricky part is the circular breathing. Once you get it, but even when I got it, I remembered I used to get it and I used to lose it initially. But it's the practice. And then once I got it, and this was back in 2010, 15 years ago now.
Wow. How many instruments in total do you know how to play?
I know how to play, as in I mostly play the flute, and I also use a lot of keys and guitars also and ukulele in my production. So yeah, that's mainly it. But I can pretty much have tried sitar. I've tried many different instruments. Not that, like you said, master. Not master in any, but koshish hai meri. Yeah. So yeah, quite a bit of instruments. I mean, pretty much the strings, the winds, percussions.
So you're doing a lot of live gigs lately.
Mhm.
What are these gigs about?
So yeah, that's also been a journey. I've done a lot of different gigs. Mainly now I've been doing corporate events, but
Okay.
I've been also doing a lot of club shows, weddings, launches. The corporate events are like your award functions, or sometimes they have their function and then they have a gala night evening type. So that's when I'm performing, and also yeah, festivals. I've performed at a lot of festivals also, but this is now I have also had a long journey. I mean, now it's been more than between 16 years now I've been doing this. So started off with I used to play in the clubs and also restaurants and everything. Now I don't play much in cafes and restaurants. It's more of corporate events only.
Big money.
Money
Big
is
money
there, but it's not only
places.
because of the money. It's also see, if the lineup is good, they want that, and that's for example, there is Blue Frog. It was a nice place, so
Yeah.
it was a lovely place. We've performed a lot over there, and now there is antisocial and stuff like that. So yeah, if there's anything good lineup and they want us to play there, definitely it's not about the money then. But rest of the places it doesn't make sense because then that's also the business side of it. Because once you play there, then the other event organizers look at you, then the pricing, and it's a very evil business. And I'm not into it for business, but we also have to look after that part of it.
Yeah, you got
To survive, we got to pay our bills.
absolutely.
So yeah.
What was the best gig that you've played so far?
Oh, I've had many very, very good gigs.
One that's at the top of your head.
Um, I remember in Sula Fest, Nasik. That was a very nice gig, and it was full of people and good crowd, and we had great time performing over there. Our entire band was there, and after us, Kailash Kher also took the stage. So it was amazing. It was full of energy, and it was amazing. So yeah, I've had many, but that's one of them I remember. Then also Orissa. I had a nice festival in 2011, the Surf Festival. It was like a 3 days festival, and we were living in tents by the beach. We were at Konar.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was a 3 day party, bro. Good fun. It's very nice.
You're reliving your memories,
Yeah.
your best moments back in your
Yeah, it
head.
was awesome, man. Sleeping by the beach and waking up and like cold during the night and hot during the day and mixed weather. That's one place, by the way. That's East Coast, firstly, and we are from the West Coast, so you don't see the sun coming up from the. That's one thing. But second thing is that particular area where we were, you could actually see the sun rising from one end. It goes like this around you, and it goes back in the sea on the other side. So it's like that was
Wow.
beautiful. I have never seen something like that. So when you asked me, that's something I remember. Beautiful, beautiful trip.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's very vivid to imagine.
Since I'm holding this,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'm waiting patiently for that. Wow.
So this is a bansuri. I have several bansuris at home. I just picked up one and came over.
That's so beautiful. It's so soulful. It's one of the instruments that really, really gets to the heart. It's so soothing.
It is. It is. It's got a very different tone and a very beautiful soothing sound.
Wow, now-
This one's called a Western flute. That's both are flutes, but they're totally different where the sound is concerned and the timbre. The sound tonality is called timbre. And you hear that's because of the metal and that's bamboo. Wood is wood. It's a
Wow.
Western flute. But I didn't play it in a very Western style. actually.
That definitely put me in a state of trance. Wow. Although this has a sweeter sound to it.
Both, yeah, this one you're saying?
Yeah.
Or this one?
No, this one.
Yeah, it both have its own different kind of
Yeah.
a tone. This is a very warm tone. It's got a this is very sharp and penetrating.
Yeah.
also, yeah. But this has a little more octave range and stuff, and it is also very well crafted. And it's very difficult to make these also, especially because these little nuances they have.
Oh.
It's very complicated instrument, the flute, where how it's made and the number of buttons, the number of the key works, and when you press this closes, then there's a button here. You close this closes. When you press these open here.
Crazy.
It's very different than this. This is a very simple instrument, but it's beautiful.
So you can say that this is a bansuri and this is a flute.
Both are flutes from the flute family.
Okay.
This is originally the what do you call it, the old school flute, and then this is called a Western concert flute. But what they did is they had wooden flutes also. They just tried different material. During different eras in history, people have always tried different materials. So then came the metal age. Before metal, there was wood. So
Yeah.
then came the metal age. So they experimented with metals. They started making these, and then they added buttons to it. Technically, this is that, but this has buttons. But the way it works, because of the mechanism, the buttons, it's not exactly the same when it comes to play. Maybe the blowing is quite similar, but the playing is very different. So how you play scales on this and how you play on that is totally different. How you hold it, how you finger it, is totally different. They're two different instruments that way,
Wow.
but two very similar instruments from the same wind family. They're called woodwinds. These are still called woodwinds, though it's not made from wood. Yes,
Wow.
because originally it was made from wood. You still have wooden flutes. I mean, wooden flutes with button, without button, open hole flutes, closed hole flutes. I also play a hulusi. I should have carried that. I didn't bring it. It's another rare. I just remembered.
You know, that's why I was asking you, what is the number of instruments that you know how to play?
Yeah. Hulusi also is a rare instrument from China, from the Han Dynasty, very ancient instrument. In our Indian terminology, if I say the pungi, people understand, like a snake charmer's pungi. Similar concept, the way it works, but the material is different. The pungi is made from coconut and then wood. Here it is bamboo, and the top is a dried kaddu or bhopla, what do you call? It's actually called
What is a kaddu? Pumpkin.
pumpkin. I said it in Hindi, but it's also actually called a calabash in Africa. All your dried pumpkin related, dried gourd. This is a gourd actually. It's not a pumpkin, it's a gourd, Gourd. But same thing from the vegetable family. They dry it, and that's what it is. That fruit. I don't have a picture, but yeah, maybe I can. You can put it in the edit later.
I
I'll
will
probably send you a
definitely.
short clip maybe of the whole. You see that. Yeah, you can add it.
Definitely, I
That's also
will.
another interesting instrument. So yeah, instruments has been my life. I have many instruments at home currently. So I have like four different guitars and keyboard and
How's that feeling of being able to travel because of art and because of what you
beautiful,
do?
beautiful. In fact, that is something I remember when I just started my journey professionally around in 2009 or 10. I started gigging and I started going for gigs and started traveling, going to wonderful places, meeting new people, different cities. It was fun, not just was, it is still fun. And you're asking how is the experience? It's amazing that you get to. In fact, I started also feeling that wow, this is where music has taken me. Because of music, I have been able to travel to so many different destinations, go to these wonderful places, and perform for different kind of audiences all over. It is a lovely feeling, and also I've traveled to along. I mean, Touchwood, everything is going great. Along the years, now I've been going to find places. Like I don't think I would ever probably check into these kind of. They're all five-star hotels, but that's not necessarily the only thing I'm talking about. But I'm also referring to the
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 experience.
experience of going and living in such places. I'm not a great fan of the five-star. What do you call it? Beds though. I don't know. People find it. I don't know why they call it comfy. It's not comfortable at all.
How many five stars have you been to lately?
I have lost count.
My God.
Since the yeah, I've been to many five stars. I've lived in many places, traveled many places.
And
Everything is taken care by the company. I mean, the event company or the organizers or the corporate shows that I'm doing by them. So yeah, it's not a big deal for them. But
and
as a musician, for me, it's been amazing that I don't think I would ever go to such places.
wow. Now, when did you first realize that composing is going to be part of your musical journey? Or when did you start actually composing music?
Actually, my journey has been less about trying to imitate anyone or trying to be any other. So it was always, I never, in fact, did too many things like cover scenes and all of that. That's probably just to study and understand music. Yes, I did play cover. You are inspired by different musicians, but never did it as a performance. I've never performed covers. Maybe I'm talking about professionally. I have done it otherwise with friends when we're chilling and Friday evening people are here. My friend who plays guitar and we're doing jams and cover jams. I've done that time, but I mean professionally, I've never done covers. So I was always inclined towards putting my own sound. So if you're talking about the the journey, it has always started first with composition. First trying to compose, but not knowing that it's even called probably composing, or even knowing the ABC of composing. I had no clue about theory. I am self-taught. I studied theory much later in life, but I studied everything. I mean, as much as I can. I studied Western classical. I've studied Indian classical. I'm still studying, and it never stops. There's a lot. I
Wow.
studied sound engineering, music production, everything by myself.
But that's all about the good parts of what your journey has been like, especially when it comes to music. What are the setbacks that you faced because of music?
Today, I would say that's not really a setback. Probably that time I felt it was a setback. I think the only setback probably every artist usually also goes to, besides other personal issues maybe and mental issues or health issues, I believe money issues. Because to just do your art, to sustain that, it's like a chicken egg situation. You need money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and
And hell a lot of time.
and the way it has become the music scene right now, you're supposed to be not just an artist. You're supposed to be an artist. You're supposed to be a videographer. You're supposed to be an editor. You're supposed to be the social media person. So everything we have to do ourselves. Correct. And that also involves a lot of time, money. It doesn't come. So you have to invest. Then you know. But that's how the world works currently. So that's what it has come to. So yeah, I've had a lot of setbacks. Like usually money, it has been very difficult to just keep afloat, to stay afloat. I mean, now that's where it's going good in the last few years. But yeah, initially I've had a lot of struggle. There was no money to travel to the gig. There was no money to buy a good pair of clothes. There was no money to change strings. So yeah, I remember we've also put out a small little hat, like a not hat, but like a mug. And we've had friends coming over. Anyways, they come over to chill, and party and listen to music. We've been playing, but we did that also and collected money. We mentioned, we just want some money for the strings, the next up. So we've had all those, but there's nothing bad. We don't feel today when we think about it, we are proud about it. We feel nice about it. It's a journey. You learn through the journey.
It's survival.
Absolutely. So there's nothing to feel ashamed of it. It's not like
Absolutely.
so when we use the word setback, probably that was setback. But today a more matured me looks at that it's all part of it. There's no setback also.
Everything leads you to something
Absolutely.
in life. And I think to each is a lesson. And everything that you go through is a lesson, either in a positive way or a negative way.
Absolutely. Most important thing I would say is health. If your health is good, everything is good. Money
Absolutely.
comes and goes.
Health is
आज
wealth.
है, कल नहीं है, it's like that. Health is wealth.
Absolutely. Now, with your entire music journey, what is your next step? I mean, what are you coming up with? What is your next project? Or what is the next big thing that you're looking for?
Yeah, some things are cooking in the back. I mean, I have been producing quite a lot of different genres of music, and I'm also with several different record labels. Uh, the one being constant being Cafe de Anatolia, which is quite a well-known, well-established label from Macedonia, and they specialize in deep house. So I have always liked Buddha Bar and stuff also, growing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much inclined. I like all different genres, but that's something that I've been making more of the lounge, deep house stuff, which is working
heard
very
that.
yeah. So
Well,
that's
that's
what's
pretty
been
good.
cooking and that's what's been going on. But I've also some other project now. It's just not yet complete, as in it's not yet formed completely. We're also looking at forming another band. Have some friends, another percussionist and a handpan player. I have a tabla player who plays with me. So we're looking at forming another band also. So that's what's cooking. Some
Wow.
world fusion psychedelic rock band or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited with all that creativity coming together. It's going to be magical for
Yeah, it is
sure.
going to be. Yeah, looking forward to it.
And by when should we expect this to happen?
Yeah, that'll take some time because the boys we say we will meet and the meeting's not been happening. Because each one of us also, one of them, he's a producer himself and he also is working at a studio. He's busy with his gigs also. Each one of us are musicians. We have our own gigs also happening. This is something we decided to come together. In fact, talking about the money and the no money scene, the corporate gigs are the ones that appear, bring the money. This one, we said this project specifically, there's no money in mind. It's just for our, for us, for ourselves. That's the band, and we'll be performing at festivals and stuff like that. It is the idea here is not about our, how do we stay afloat. That we're doing with the corporate events. This is something we're doing out of like our own passion. So it'll be really killer musically where it's concerned. I don't know how it will do financially, and we are not concerned at the moment because
And I think if you're not concerned about what it does financially,
that's when
there's
beautiful things happen.
absolutely.
My journey started like that. I did not want to become a musician or want to do this or want to do that or to be something. You don't have to want to become. You just are. You just live it.
You have to be.
You just have to be. You don't want to be. Don't try to be anyone. Just be and live it from right there. That's when you live it and experience it.
Wow. Now, what is a message you would like to send the younger generation or the generation that's now getting into learning music and picking up instruments? What is an advice that you would want to give the young generation?
Yeah, if you're going to any teacher, that's great. Find the right teacher who will give you that right advice at the right time. Others will make a mistake. Like I make certain mistakes. For example, I used to hold the flute like this, okay, initially, where my right hand is up, left hand is down, and I'm talking the straight flutes. Then it went to like this. And my finger, I know I used to hold like this, very, you look at this, it looks so tensed. And even when I went like this, it was like this. But now you
Yeah.
see how I hold. Because I did go in Borivali to a Guruji for a couple of classes, and he asked me, that's why he ticked me off actually, by saying the whole way you're holding it is incorrect. And I used to play quite decently before that, okay? And he asked me to change the whole thing. But I didn't take that as a negative thing. It's just that I'm also one of those guys who takes that as a challenge, but I did not want to face him till I get it right.
But you questioned yourself, right?
I changed it. I did it. I took his advice. I worked on it. It took me some time because everything changes. You're holding like this. Now you're holding like this. Everything is different. You have to recalibrate the whole thing.
And let's rewind back to that point where what was the first thing he told you?
That changed the fingering, change the way you're holding the flute.
No, I think you said the first thing he told you was you don't even know how to hold it.
Yeah, you're not holding it right. You're not holding the flute right, which is fine. But what ticked me is not his advice. What ticked me is the frustration while trying to get it.
Oh,
Trying to change that is so difficult. It's like, no, fuck it, I don't want to do this. And I managed. And then I always thank that guy for that. So
absolutely.
that's the guru who I went only for 2 classes. Mr. Kashikar. Uh, is Pandit Kashikar.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to take the name properly, Pandit Kashikar, so I don't want to get it wrong. Sorry, Guruji. But yeah, I've only been for 2 classes for him. But yeah, he's a great flute teacher. But my advice to the kids is that yes, please, if you are coming across anything, ensure that you have the right source of information. Because nowadays, with a lot of information out there, there's a lot of not so good advice out there, and people just wanting to make reels, wanting to make their own videos, wanting to make their so they're just putting any information out there. I'm talking about anything. I've seen it, be it in music production, quick 10 tips for this, and those tips are not always right. So always get the right help. That's what my
Yeah,
thing
that
is.
makes
And
sense.
practice.
Practice without
And just
practice.
be true to yourself. Don't run after I need to get followers and all that. I don't have too many followers. I mean, I'm not ashamed of anything, but it is what it is. I don't have followers. I've not paid attention to it, but I have been now trying to focus on that also on Instagram, and I'm supposed to do that because it's not right, but that it is what it is. So for the other musicians, upcoming musicians, I say I know you have to keep your social media also, but that is not everything. Because you will realize that if you are only dependent on the social media, if you think that's everything and that's who I am, if that's what represents you,
But that's
there
kind of
was
unfair, right?
there was Orkut. There's no longer any Orkut. There was Facebook, no longer much being used. Instagram is there. Things will come and go, but you will not change. You are an artist and you will always be an artist. So that's what I would like to tell the artists. Don't rely on what Instagram tells you. And yes, the world is judging you based on your followers. It's not good, but it is what it is. But you don't fall for that trap. That's all I would like to tell the future, because everyone now getting, and this is the thing, Instagram has become the thing.
It is. Social media is become the thing. Although, in your case, do you think it's unfair that because of social media influence that a person has, their capabilities or their availability to larger events is restricted?
Who has more followers?
It's unfair to people who do not have.
Have, yes, it is unfair. Absolutely. I have been treated differently because of that. I've noticed that. But there's nothing you can do. You just have to do your part right. You do your thing. You do your art nice. जिसको देखना है वो देखेगा. पहचानने का पहचानेगा.
Absolutely.
Organizers will come to a point where they'll understand, oh, what I got was a full fluffed up fake thing which was only on Instagram and samne. So don't ever worry. And you have nothing to worry. If you are true to yourself, you have nothing to worry.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we
that's what art should teach you.
be fearless. Yeah.
Art should, in fact, the purpose of art is for every individual to transcend. And that is why I'm a musician, not for others, not for. In fact, I don't care about performances also, to be honest. but we are doing it because we have to survive. For me, it's very personal. I would just like to be in my own room playing. Of course, I love jamming with every musician and everything. And whoever's experiencing it, let them experience. Then that becomes a gig. But my journey was not that. Oh, I want to be a musician. I want to be on that stage. I want to become famous. If you're starting with that, then nothing is right and wrong in this world. Then the journey is very different. Then what really matters to you is different. You just have to. You can lie to the world. You can't lie to yourself.
Absolutely. My God, that's something that not a lot of people realize, that you can lie to you can lie to everybody else around
Lie to
you,
yourself.
but not to yourself. What an incredible journey it has been with music, with growing up, with everything that you've been through and everything that you are currently going through. I'm super excited to see the band come together. I'm also excited to see your new projects. I've been listening to a lot of your music lately, and it's especially your deep house. The I also love the set where you were doing some live looping with a flow of all the instruments that were there. Wow, that was super amazing, man. What a chill set. I enjoyed that so much. I mean, it was on loop for quite some time because it was just so calming and so soothing. I just wanted to feel that vibe. So that kind of energy, that kind of aura, to be able to do not just that, but to create music in a way where you have no limits. Your creativity has no boundaries. That, I think, really makes you an artist. And like you said, like we were discussing earlier, if we take away art, what should happen? So I think art is you. And I'm really, really glad that you took the time to come here today and speak to me and share your journey.
So I would like to say, yeah, being honest to yourself and practice is very important. Everything else, probably you can do shortcuts, you can cheat, you can do anything else. AI is there, everything else you can use. But you cannot, in certain
Oh,
things you have to practice.
now that you mentioned AI, do you think AI is going to take over the music industry? Do you think it's going to be that easy, just giving a prompt and having your imagination come out in the form of music?
AI is amazing, it's an amazing tool. And if humans are getting scared of AI, that shows their maturity level.
I mean,
If a human truly understands what is the meaning of art, what's the point of art, and why it is art, because it came from a human, there is emotion attached. If they're happy with the AI art, so be it. कुछ काम चला रहा है आज मेरे को ये चाहिए I want one cover over here I want them they're using AI but truly like I said you can be dishonest to everybody else you can't be dishonest to yourself truly deep down you know इसमें ये अच्छा तो लग रहा है लेकिन वो feeling नहीं है which what a human brings. So AI is there. There's a lot of, in fact, nuances. They're talking about the way it sounds. I've heard a lot of AI music sounding very good. In fact, I listen also to AI music. When I'm listening to random music, sometimes on YouTube, it has gone to some AI thing. It's playing the whole set. It's AI music. I'm aware, but it's doing its thing. But
don't you think
talking about the industry and all, yes, I do see that there are a lot of these fake channels, AI channels, YouTube channels that are putting up full-on content and they're getting the views and they're it's not coming to so that there is a bit of unfair practices happening there yes I do understand but if you're talking about will the AI take over the world or take over no AI is a tool and you're the human you use that as a tool
no,
that's my
what I'm trying to say is, do you think AI is going to take over the music industry? Reason being is,
so when you
today,
say music industry it depends what do you define the music industry if you say now
today,
tomorrow you cannot have a gig with a computer stand you will need a musician
excuse me, yeah, agreed. What I'm trying to say is, because there is music easily available through AI now,
correct
it's going to limit creativity.
yes in fact what it's going to do is it's going to limit creativity.
And by limiting creativity, it is eventually going to take over, because not this generation, but maybe in the near future.
Actually, wait, I would like to take that little back. It will not limit creativity. It is, like I said, if you use that creatively, that means you need to first study your music, you need to know your music, what you want. And that's how you will be able to prompt. Not anyone can prompt, right? I mean, given any particular topic, to make best use of AI, you need to know the topic very well first. And that's when you make use of AI. AI by itself creating cannot really create. It still comes to a human being only who can use the AI to create. So technically, no, I don't think it can take over the music industry as such. It cannot. But yeah, if you're talking about a lot of work is people are trying to, instead of giving a composer, instead of commissioning work out, okay, I want artwork or I want music background. So they might probably try to get it done themselves. It will not work because finally they will know the results. They will have to get in touch with the musician only.
Absolutely, to find out.
So yeah, because till they don't experience, then they'll know the difference between you trying to create. It's not my forte, for example, making cover art. I've tried doing it. It looks shit. Because I know I need to get somebody who will know exactly what to, now there's the guy is right here, he's operating a camera. He's completely aware of what is light and shadow, and they understand that. I am not aware. We just take our phone and that's what I can do, and that's what you'll do with AI, and AI can help you a lot. It is getting advanced. So yeah, maybe you can use AI, you learn, but you have to learn. You can't just rely on AI.
Absolutely.
That's my take. So if you're talking about taking over, I don't know what's the meaning of taking over in what way. As in, you have to. There's no. I can't do anything by itself.
I think I love being offline, so
Yeah.
it's one of the best
Now,
things.
that's the one takeover, and the other taking over. Like people have been talking all over the world that AI is going to take over everything. And how can it take over? It's not like what you see in that movie we watched, where robots walking. No, that's not going to happen. What's their
No.
purpose? The question is, what's the purpose? Yeah, that can happen. You might see robots walking, killing others, but there's a human behind it. There's always a human behind. AI has no purpose.
Absolutely. Yeah. At the end, AI is also man's creation.
Absolutely, it's man's creation.
Wow.
That's my take on that. Use AI. I would not say I'm not against AI. I'm saying use. In fact, use tools. We had normal brake pads on our vehicle. If there's a disc brake, use disc brake. I'm not against technology. No way. In fact, anyone who says against technology, no, they're just not mature enough to understand that, no, and realize that, no, with time man has to move. You have to move on. Use the technology, but you have to study. In
Absolutely.
whatever. In this case, we're talking about music, but in any industry, you have to really study. There's no shortcuts.
Yeah, until and unless you learn, you practice, and you implement, there is
That's it.
going to be no progress.
Absolutely.
And if you just want to be where you are, then you're not going to seek progress to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. All right, Clive, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, because it means a lot to have this conversation with you and to share moments of everything that you've been through in your life and how it has influenced your journey, the beautiful messages you got out, the live session that I got to witness here today. I'm sure everybody's going to love it when they see that.
That was barely anything. We'll have more. Don't worry.
Absolutely. But people, if y'all are watching this, you should know that you heard him do what he does. You watched him do what he did on this very podcast. Go ahead, check him out, share his music with your friends and family. If you like it, share the love.
Yeah, my music is available on it's on all the platforms. YouTube Music, Spotify. I also have a YouTube channel, so I have uploaded a few videos over there of while music
Yeah,
videos.
I'm going to add the link to those videos to this description. So go ahead, check it out, listen to his music. Like I said, spread the love, spread the music, help the man grow in his dreams, and at the same time, let him influence people and help them grow too.
Thank you.